So recently on TikTok, there's been this new phrase thrown around called ugly privilege, where girls go on about the alleged benefits of being unattractive. And this is a play on the term pretty privilege, where people recognize that the more good looking you are, the better you're treated by society. Despite me being a Looksmaxxing channel, I actually do believe ugly privilege is a thing. But not for men. There are actually some downsides to being an attractive woman, and I know that's hard for us to empathize with. We only see it from the men's perspective. We are the ones that respond positively to attractive women, and we've noticed that how you look as a man really does change how people treat you. But for women, things are a bit more complicated. You see, a lot of women that are very attractive are the recipient of a surprising amount of hate from other women. And it's kind of the inverse that we see on social media, where if a girl is kind of humdrum, average, or unattractive, there'll typically be loads of comments and replies of other girls gassing this woman up and complimenting her and like saying how beautiful she is and genuinely trying to make her feel better. Of course this is fake, right? Like most of it is virtue signaling. They don't really believe this humdrum looking woman is the most beautiful woman in the world, but like this is what they say on social media. And this is so common, especially when guys are like insulting her. There'll be so many women coming to that woman's defense, digging up her ego and complimenting her and so on and so forth. It's very, very common. So if you're like a conventionally unattractive girl, you kind of have the option to back up call the sisterhood to like compliment you and pump up your ego at will. If you're an unattractive man, nobody's riding in to save you and protect you. Nobody's coming in to defend him. Nobody's like saying he's the most handsome man in the world and like he's so beautiful. Like nobody's saying that. And I think there's a tipping point for women where they become so attractive that other girls start to become bitchy to them. Like they see it as like a legitimate threat. I knew this girl. She was half Asian, half white, extremely curvy body, very good looking girl. I blurred her face, but I think you can get the idea, right? And like she was showing me how there was like this group of women that were like banding together on Instagram to like insult her and make up rumors about her, saying how she's photoshopping pictures, she's wearing corsets to make her waist that small, and so on and so forth. And like she was getting so much hate. I was thinking, they wouldn't be doing this if you were just like an average looking woman. They were only doing this because you're physically attractive. In this way, you're not the recipient of ugly privilege, are you? Like, you're being attacked because you look good. And that's kind of like an alien concept for men. Like, if we see like an attractive man in some way, either he's like really tall, he has like a good jawline, or, you know, a great physique, it's kind of unfathomable to like group up with other men and just shit talk him. That's kind of not what we do ever. At least it's very rare that men do that. But women, this is actually a big thing. There was even like this viral video in UK where I'm from where there was this girl getting harassed that was playing a harp. And you know, she's quite pretty, you know, she's thin and that's quite rare in the West. And she's talented playing this harp and she was just getting like shit on by this like obviously older woman that's just being like, oh, do you have a license to play the harp? Do you have permission from the council? Like, just being really shitty to her for like no reason. And I think that's just because she's kind of pretty. If she was an unattractive girl, I don't think that woman would be harassing that girl playing the harp. But I think it goes even deeper than this. Another good example of ugly privilege being a thing, but not for men, is the fat acceptance movement, or body positivity, whichever one you want to say. I don't think many people have failed to notice that the body positivity movement is kind of exclusively for women. There was this swimsuit line, and on their website, all the models for the female swimsuits were like conventionally unattractive or average looking women with average physiques and faces and so on, and all the men were like tall, lean, with abs, and it's just like, hold on. You only picked those women because they weren't good looking. That was the sole reason why they got that job. But that would never apply for men. Like, can you imagine going up to like some average guy like Joe Schmo, some truck driver, and being like, hey Joe, do you want to be a swimsuit model? He'd laugh. Like, he'd think it was a joke. Ugly privilege is not a thing for men, but especially in the West with how like things are set up, there's a lot of effort to hide attractive women from society, and elevate women that don't look that good. And I know this is artificial, but like, I'm just saying what is actually happening. I know this isn't like organic. This isn't like men's preference. There's like a concerted effort in society now to like hide attractive women at all costs, and that kinda isn't the thing for men. So I know these girls on TikTok talking about ugly privilege. Yeah, a lot of it is cope, a lot of it is virtue signaling, and even some attractive women talking about ugly privilege. It's, you know, they're fishing for compliments, and, you know, there's a lot of nonsense, right? I do think they might be onto something. I do think ugly privilege is kind of a thing, but again, not for men. There's another thing with ugly privilege in the dating market where guys will get it in their heads that I don't have a chance with the most attractive women. They don't even try. They don't even swipe right on those Tinder profiles like the 8 out of 10 women. So they'll intentionally go for average looking women or below average, thinking, oh, well, at least I'll have a much better chance with those. A lot of guys think this is like a unique idea. They're the first guy to think of this, but loads of guys also have this idea and intentionally avoid attractive women. So this kind of inflates the value of women that aren't that attractive in the dating market, because there's more guys going for them, because a lot of them have it in their head that, oh, I'm not gonna go for the attractive women. So that's another thing fluffing up the ego and making life easier for non-attractive women. This does not apply for men. Women on dating apps don't have it in their head that, oh, I'm never gonna have a chance with an attractive guy. No, they just swipe right automatically. But if you want to maximize your chances of being an attractive guy, I highly recommend you watch my video that I made on the most attractive body type, which you can check out by clicking the video on screen here.